Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. Long time no see, family. Subhanallah. I've been so busy with family life and work and fitness. I haven't done the stream for a couple of days, but I have been on other shows like EA Dawa, MashaAllah, and Inter Dawa. And the brothers are doing fantastic there in America. MashaAllah, definitely recommend to like and subscribe to EA Dawa and Insa Dawa. And today, MashaAllah, we've got the infamous, the man who carries the siwak with him all the time, and people are scared of this miswak. MashaAllah, big brother, MashaAllah, Hafidullah, the Muslim Apologist, MashaAllah, all the way from Malaysia is joining me. Guys, if you don't know, he had a recent debate with that Apus guy. I don't want to mention his real name, but that guy has got mental issues, no doubt about it. I think he's got mental issues 100%. And some of these hate preachers, even David Webb, Sam Shaman, all of these hate preachers claim they've got mental issues. They're not shy about it, So the Muslim Apologist, I think you're muted, brother. Can you unmute the mic?
Yes, assalamu alaikum, brother. Yeah, I muted myself because I wanted you to speak first. Yeah, so.
Jazakallah khair, mashallah. It's a pleasure and honor to have you on my show again, mashallah. And I kind of watched your recent debate with that crazy individual. Talk about it. How did it start? Your opening, what did you plan before the debate? And for those brothers who haven't seen the debate, how can they watch the debate?
Yeah, so basically, I did participate in several debates on this platform called Modern Day Debate, or MDD for short. So there was this one debate I had with this atheist. He's actually quite pleasant, by the name of Randolph. So after I concluded the debate, Apus, the guy, tried to, put in a question, and I chided him for the question. It was basically about a question regarding apostasy. So I chided him on that show live during that debate. But the conversation between me and Randolph didn't really, sound like a debate. It was more like a pleasant discourse, because he was such a nice guy and he didn't attack Islam much. He just questioned some of the practices that we had. And I took the opportunity to present Islam as, as it is. Okay. So after the debate, the moderator of the MDD, or the owner of the MDD, James, he emailed me and said that the guy Apusi wanted to debate me. Okay, he wanted to debate me. He was the one.
Don't make me laugh. If you hear me giggle like a little child, brother, because I watched the debate. Guys, definitely check out the debate. It is mashallah, it's excellent. Brother, carry on.
Yeah. So to cut a long story short, this was in March, by the way. I said I agree, but because of several commitments, I can't commit to a specific date at that time. So several months later, from March until last month, which was July, right? August, right? So until July. So in July, James emailed me again asking whether I was still interested in debating Apus. So I thought to myself, I was thinking, I was weighing the pros and cons of debating him. I mean, I know this guy is such a cur. I know this guy is infamous for attacking Islam and making a lot of stunts, blaspheming and insulting Islam. I know that very well. And there were some brothers who cautioned me against debating this guy because they say that, why are you platforming him? Why are you giving him space to speak bad about Islam, right? But after weighing the pros and cons, I realized, if you want to argue that, I'm giving him space for speaking out against Islam, MDD is also giving me space to refute him and to present Islam. So it goes both ways. I mean, it's not just him who's going to speak, it's also me. So I realized that, I might as well just accept. And I did. And I told James that, let's set the date for the end of August. This email was at the end of July. And I told him that I would debate Apus on the 27th of August. So I had a month to prepare, right? So, and then I did my research. I did an opening speech, which was in my, in retrospect, I think it was a bit of an overkill because Apus didn't answer anything I said in the opening debate, right? In the opening statement. So And then the debate took place on the 27th last month, as you know, right? So that's how it is.
Yeah, so who decided the topic, and what was the topic for those brothers and sisters who haven't seen the debate?
Yeah. So basically, the topic was, is Islam dangerous to the world? He said the topic, by the way. I didn't set the topic. I was weighing the pros and cons. I was thinking, oh, this guy was trying to. I knew what this guy is trying to do. He's trying to portray. I know that he will use this topic as an, to talk about jihad, to talk about the treatment of women, to talk about, laws of apostasy. I knew that this was his angle. Okay, I mean, this guy only talks about that. He doesn't have a, a proper mind, right? He doesn't have a wide worldview, right? He sees everything in his narrow lenses, right? So I knew that, if I were to, talk about this topic, I just let him play his game, basically. And I want to turn the tables on him by using this topic against him. And in retrospect, I think I did. I hope I did. Okay. So for anyone who wants to watch the debate, you can actually go to the modern day debate and look for the debate there. The video is there.
It's interesting because I think post debate you had some funny reactions regarding the mismatch and calling people like negative words. Could you talk about that, brother?
It was on the spur of the moment. I mean, I didn't really plan for that. I mean, because because the question about the Surah An-Nisa verse 34 came out, right? So I thought, well, this was something I've been waiting, actually, because I ordered that miswak about a month after I accepted the debate, so I knew the topic would come up, but I didn't know when it was going to be used. So when I heard that Surah An-Nisa suddenly came up, so if you look at the debate, I was looking for the miswak, and then I walked over to the other side and I took the miswak. So I was already prepared. So I just showed that to him and said, okay, this is the miswak, this is the very stick that the Prophet ﷺ said to use for disobedient wife. Okay, and it's in the hadith. And he keeps saying, oh, where is it? Not in the hadith, it's not in the hadith, I said, just go look for it. Okay. Unfortunately, at that particular time, I couldn't show the exact hadith because my laptop suddenly crashed and I didn't want to trigger it again. I mean, if you look at the debate, you will notice that prior to that question, I was, my screen was frozen, right? And I was suspended. Okay. So I didn't want a repeat of that. That is why I didn't give the hadith. But if you look at my channel, I reproduced a clip of that particular event, and I've included the hadith in the description of that video. So anyone can just look at it, and you can see the reference there. Okay.
I'm happy to put the link out in the chat, and if anybody wants to question you regarding some of the remarks that you made.
Which remarks, Aki? Maybe you can be specific.
The part.
Which ones?
The P word, if you don't mind.
You mean Apus? Oh, okay. The reason why I call him that is because about 3 hours after the debate ended, he uploaded a video. Cutting my remark out of the context, and have me saying that in that particular video which he cut off without including the context, I was saying that it's not my problem if Christians are pussies. When I say pussies here, I don't mean pussy as in the sexual organ, right? I mean pussy as in pussy cat. Okay, Christians are pussies. So basically, the full context of my sentence was, I was saying that it's not my problem because I was talking about the apostasy law in the Bible, which is in Deuteronomy 13. So the full sentence was, it's not my problem if Christians are such pussies that they are not unable to implement their own laws from the Bible. So this guy took it out of context. He cut out the part where I was talking about Deuteronomy 13, and he changed the meaning of the word pussy when I actually meant pussy cat, not the other one. All right. So that is why I decided to call him Apusi. Okay, because of that. That's precisely the context of it.
Yeah, no, definitely, mashallah. I forgot, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the brother's channel, the Muslim Apologist, check out his YouTube channel, mashallah. It is educational and quite humorous at the same time. Also, the brother's got another channel, mashallah, where he goes around different hotels in Malaysia and he reviews the hotels and what kind of food they offer, what kind of service, how clean they are. So the brother, check out the Muslim Apologist. Hopefully, you'll put the link in the chat. So, brothers and sisters who want to visit Malaysia, check out the reviews that this brother is doing. MashaAllah.
Sure. I'll do that.
If anybody wants to come on, the links in the chat. So anybody feel free to join us on the stream, and we have a polite discussion, inshallah, not like a heated debate. So what happened when you turned your back and you were scratching your back? What's the situation with that? If the brothers and sisters haven't seen that clip.
Well, so it was a Q&A session, so we were answering questions back from the audience. Basically, it wasn't even a part of the debate anymore. And then there was this question where someone was asking about the concubine laws in Islam, right? So, well, I admit I don't have an extensive knowledge of concubinage in Islam, or even slavery, except for very basic understanding. So what I said was, before I could even finish the sentence, was that I'll try to answer the question, even though I myself am not knowledgeable in this. And before I could finish that question, Apus C cut me off, and he said, and then he started calling me names, and he started calling me, you're not knowledgeable, you're not this, you're not that, you are. He used the word bastard against me, and he was saying, yes, and he was calling all sorts of names. So I was trying to suppress, I mean, when someone insults you, it's very, very difficult to suppress the feeling, right? So what I did was, on an impulse, wallahi, I never planned this. I just took the miswak and just scratched my back. That's what I did. So it somehow calmed my nerves and kept me calm. And I think, and I think from the whole incident, it actually made me look more composed. I think because if I had not done that, most likely I will be engaging in a verbal match.
Yeah, negative.
Because he was provoking me. I mean, but wallahi, I didn't plan that. I didn't really plan that. I think it was God's, Allah's will that I did what I did. Okay? He made me do that. Okay, I didn't plan that. I mean, the usual reaction from me would be to be riled up and attack him, but I didn't. I mean, I just did not. I don't know why. Wallahi, I didn't know why.
MashaAllah, that's excellent. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, this is a good comment. This is very true, to be honest. I think he does this just to wind people up and then act like he's a victim. What's your take on that, brother?
Yeah, I think he did that purposefully to rile me up, because it was my turn to answer the question, and he didn't actually have a role in answering that, but he just suddenly decided to provoke me. Well, I managed to call him a moron and a fool live, and also I did manage to squeeze in saying that I have zero respect for him. That probably made him set off further, but I stopped there. I didn't call him anything more than that, and then I just scratched my back with the miswak, and that's it. Yeah.
Excellent. I have put the link for the brothers' YouTube channel when it comes to reviewing hotels and stuff in Malaysia. For those brothers and sisters who want to visit Malaysia, check out the YouTube channel from the Muslim Apologist. And I think it's a very good idea where a Muslim person goes and reviews the hotels Islamically to find out what kind of services they provide for children, for women. If there's a prayer hall, of course, there's halal food and alcohol and non-alcohol. So it's very important for brothers and sisters to know when they're traveling to Malaysia where to go and how they can save money. And especially these days when the cost of traveling and hotels is very expensive. The Muslim Apologist, I think, will do a fantastic reviews on the hotels and so forth. So you're currently in a hotel right now. So you want to name it if you want to.
Yes, this is the Swiss Garden Hotel, right? Right along the road, right in the city center, Jalan Pudu, nearby an area which we call Bukit Bintang. So Bukit Bintang is the commercial and business center where most tourists go to, because there's a lot of malls and shopping complexes along in this area. So yeah, I mean, I've been here for 2 days now. Okay, so yeah, so I'll be leaving tomorrow. But so far the stay has been pleasant, and yeah, I mean, go ahead and visit the channel, inshallah, once the review comes up.
No, that's mashallah, excellent. I just want to say, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother Omar 50K. Nice to see you here, mashallah. Everybody's well. Guys, I just want to mention, to be honest, that the reason I do these streams is because of you guys. Because I know the situation with mental health and physical well-being is very important. And this is opportunity for me to communicate with people. Whether Muslim Apologist, to be honest, I'm very, I wouldn't say antisocial, but I don't like socializing with people physically. For me, I think it is more of a mental thing, maybe, or I feel more, I'm more into keeping my family members close to me more than anybody else. So I don't really I don't mix much with the community and society, and there's a lot of brothers and sisters who actually maybe feel the same way. So when I do podcasting, this is my interaction with the people, and there are a lot of brothers and sisters who have so much mental issues and well-being issues, and this is an amazing opportunity to communicate while you're sitting at home in the comfort of your own home, or when you're driving from that, whatever you're doing. This is an amazing opportunity to communicate with other people in a beautiful Islamic manner. There's no music, there's no negativity. It's just beneficial information. And I just want to emphasize that you guys power me to do this, mashallah, with your supplications, with your du'as, and the interaction that we have. The little interaction that you have in the chat and stuff like this. For me, it means a lot to me, because this is my way of communicating with all the brothers and sisters, mashallah, from around the world. And I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much. And I don't get too emotional, but I definitely appreciate it. Brother Muslim Apologist, let me just, there's quite a few nice comments coming up. I definitely would have fallen into Apus's trap. Yeah, I think even me, if someone insults me, I think it's very difficult to hold back. Our natural nature is to kind of like, be negative. But as Muslims, I think you portray yourself as, mashallah, you portray yourself very well. What's your take on that, brother?
Yes, it was. I'll be honest, it was very, very hard to hold back. I mean, the guy was just taking any opportunity he can to attack and insult Islam. Okay, but I tried him for it. Okay, so each time he opens his mouth and I find something that he was wrong, I just say, "Hey, you Islamophobe." I mean, I don't know why. What gave me the strength? I think, I know it could be from the above, but I found the courage to stand up to him. I mean, at the beginning of I'll be honest here. At the beginning of the debate, I was actually unsure of myself. I wasn't even confident that I could present my points correctly. But after he presented his opening statement, which was mostly about Salman Rushdie, which we know is it's not really it's not really important. He's insignificant, rather, because in Malaysia, the news of his stabbing, we don't even get coverage of it. Okay, there was zero coverage of his stabbing here in Malaysia. The only reason why I know about it is because it was on the international news, right? And I happen to follow them. But in Malaysia itself, we don't even know about or care about what happened to him. So when he was talking about that, I realized, this is something that this is something very basic, and I think I over-prepared. And as it turns out, I think I was right. I'm right. So I don't know. I mean, I think the reaction from the Muslims who watched the debate, alhamdulillah, has been positive overall. Okay, there were some negative comments from the Muslims. I don't know why there were some negative comments, but the majority have pretty much approved of what I did and say. So alhamdulillah for that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I think, brother, the problem about the Muslim community is that we always want to bring somebody down. We want to speak negative. For me, brother, I train a lot, and sometimes I might wear like a t-shirt. It might be slightly a bit too tight. But there's always been somebody who say, "Oh, brother, when you wear you," I'm like, okay, I was a mistake, but khalas. But they never say good. They wouldn't. But when you're wearing something Islamic, they never say, "Oh, brother, mashallah, you look really good." But unfortunately, this is like a bit of a disease or a stain upon the Muslims, where we do criticize people sometimes, but we don't look at the whole picture. And hopefully, I've put that in a understanding way without.
So I hope so.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
hopefully,
Yes.
inshallah. Next, let me see, lots of beneficial knowledge. Next time, inshallah, I suggest you because you have lots of. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah. We've got Brother Aladdin in the chat. MashaAllah, I'd love to have you on stage. The link is being
Walaikum
pinned.
salam wa rahmatullah.
MashaAllah, Aladdin is MashaAllah amazing guy. So check out his YouTube channel, Aladdin, and it would be great to have you on and just some words of advice. It'd be fantastic. So, have you got any other debates planned with any other individuals?
Nothing in the works yet. So I in fact I don't really plan to have any debates unless if something comes along my way, and if I think that the opponent is worthy enough to have a chat or a discussion with. Not really planning anything big at the moment. So I just want to focus on other things first, my day job, and this staycation thing that I'm doing right now. So, and the Muslim Apologist channel, where I'm taking kind of like a rain check only for several days, perhaps, or maybe a week or so. I'm not sure yet, but there will be some new videos there in the show. Yeah.
You know what? This is very important. I think I was actually speaking to my little boy the other day. He's 11, Hudayfa, and he wants to have a YouTube channel. He likes making paper airplanes, right? So he makes paper airplanes and he tries them out. There's a couple of clips on my YouTube channel of me and Hudayfa just playing around. And this is very important for fathers to do this interaction with your children. Sometimes we leave our children on like an iPad or a computer and we don't interact with them. We don't let them use their minds, their hands. Technology is very good, no doubt about it. But we have to have this physical interaction with our children. So now I'm trying to push Hudayfa into maybe starting a small YouTube channel and grow his, hopefully his passion for paper airplanes. And I remember good as a child, I used to make paper airplanes. I used to make one particular airplane, and that's it. But Hudayfa, mashallah, he had different designs and all these different, amazing. So I'm trying to plan for him to have a YouTube channel. And the problem is, when he's with his friends, one or two will always say to him, "Oh, Hudayfa, that was a stupid video, Hudayfa." I'm like, Hudayfa, I sit him down because he's 11, he's still developing. So Hudayfa, don't worry. Don't listen, carry on with what you're doing. It's halal. There's nothing haram about it, mashallah, and I encourage you to do it. And hopefully soon we'll probably have a small YouTube channel for my son Hudayfa, so you can start designing and making paper airplanes. I know it sounds very petty, guys, but it's very important as fathers to encourage your children. Islamically, yes, he knows, mashallah, he studies his religion and reads the Quran, but at the same time, give them a halal hobby, something that they enjoy. So it's very important as fathers to do that. So, brother, I'm sorry for taking you away from the original topic. What's your take on that? Do you think that's beneficial for children to do?
Yes, I've always, I have a son too, so I've always asked him to, follow his own heart and go into the direction that he wants, right? So I like football. My son doesn't. I don't know why, but for some reason he doesn't. But I don't force him or push him towards football because he doesn't like football. But he likes cars, and I don't like cars, but he loves it anyway. So I buy him these toy cars. I encourage him, to collect, toy, Hot Wheels cars as a hobby. And I don't like to force my son to do something which he doesn't like or love, even though I may like or love that. So I let him have his free will, his choice to do that. So I think that is a healthy bond between me as a father and him as my son.
One second. There's a comment from Aladdin, and Barakallah Fikum. I definitely think part of it's very, very true. But at the same time, I do feel that this person has been demolished. He's been destroyed. He's been violated. He's been put on the scrapyard. This Apus guy, and he openly says he's got mental problems. You can see him break down in some of the streams where he kind of has a. Unfortunately, he has a nervous breakdown, And I definitely think he's got no knowledge about anything. I think he is given a script by other hate preachers, and I've never ever seen him talk negative about Christianity. I've never ever seen him debate a Christian. I've never seen him debate anybody from the from Judaism, I should say, from Judaism. He's always trying to attack Islam because he knows if I want an income, if I want to make some money, I don't even think half of these guys got day jobs. I don't think they've got day jobs. David Wood and all these individuals, they've got no day jobs. I think David Wood got a criminal record. I think he hit his father with a hammer or something like that.
Yep. I have a lot to say on that. I have a lot to say on that if you want me to.
Yeah, feel free to share that, brother. I don't mind. So these brothers got, I won't say brothers, but these individuals, like even like Sam Shaman, I remember when they approached Sheikh Uthman Ibn Farouk, Hafidullah, they approached him and they openly said they've got mental problems.
Yes, I have a lot. I have a lot to say on Shamun too.
Feel free with that. What's your view on? I know David Wood has got some. They call him the Hammer Time. So for the audience who doesn't know, why have you got this nickname called the Hammer Time?
Yes, because apparently during his early days, he says that he went into a psychotic disorder, some mental issue or whatever it is, and he suddenly one day he got the urge to approach his stepfather, who was sleeping in the hallway, who wasn't doing anything to him, and he took a hammer and bashed him with the hammer. Yeah, so this is, by the way, by his own admission. Okay, I'm not making it up. Okay, and apparently he got some jail time for it too. And according to him, according to David Wood himself, he apparently found religion again, and then he was released from prison, and then he continued his studies, etc., until he met Nabil Qaidani, and they were, I think, roommates or something in university, and then somehow he managed to influence Nabil to become Christian, and then hence began his career as we now know, right?
Yeah, definitely. We've got Brother Aladdin on the stage now, mashallah. Aladdin, assalamu alaikum, habibi, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
How are you, Akhi? Brother, I would like to share something with you. Jazakallah khair. For our Malaysian brother, Barakallah Feek, I am located nearby you. I'm located in the Philippines, and I visit Malaysia every now and then. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. It'll be good if you come here to Kuala Lumpur, inshallah. Okay. Come to Kuala Lumpur.
I've been to Kuala Lumpur many times. I've been there many times, alhamdulillah. And almost every Eid we go and celebrate Eid with my family. I love to celebrate Eid in Kuala Lumpur. Anyway, brother, I would like to share something with you and everybody. Barakallah fiqh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, in a clear verse, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. Invite all to the way of the Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching. And another way, in Surah Al-Ankabut, if I'm not mistaken, or Surah Al-Nahl, he said, وَلَا تُجَادِلُوا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْهُمْ. Do not discuss with the people of the book or anyone except in best manners. And he said, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا, except those who ظلموا from among the disbelievers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid us from having a discussion with them. And Allah told us in the Holy Quran, who are those from among the disbeliever who we should not discuss with. Allah says in Surah Al-Imran, فيه آيات محكمات وأخر متشابهات فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء تأويله. Those who they have doubt in their hearts, they follow what they think it's doubtful, just to put doubt in your heart, as much as they have doubt in their heart. So their purpose is not to discuss, but because they have zayg, they have sickness, they have disease in their heart, they hope that they can put this disease as well in your heart to drive you away from Islam. So such people, with all the respect to you, Akhi, I appreciate what you are doing. Actually, I watched your discussion and debate with them. MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. It's a waste of time. Because they do nothing, ya Akhi, but they make some cash out of it. So whenever we discuss with them, we give them more popularity. We make them more famous. We give them more audience. We give them more audience. We give them more followers, where they can make more cash by attacking Islam out of ignorance. And we do have some Muslims who they are, I mean, they don't have much knowledge actually. And our beloved Muhammad told us to beware of those shubuhat, because shubuhat might drive Muslims away from Islam. So therefore, discussing with such people, it's a waste of time. And everybody noticed that this guy named Apus, he never spoke about Christianity or Judaism. He even get united with those Christians by attacking Islam. Even Christians don't care about his own salvation. If they really love him as a human being, as they claim, they should care about his salvation more than they care about him attacking Islam. But they don't care if he become a Christian or not. They don't care if he was saved or not, as much as they care that he attacked Islam. So it's a brotherly advice, friendly advice. Jazakallah khair for your effort. Just ignore such people, as Allah told us. Allah says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْهُمْ. I don't know how to say ظَلَمُوا in English, if you can help me. I mean, those ظَلَمُوا, they are misguided, or they misguide people.
Yeah, ظلم is like ظلم, from ظلم. So doing oppression or evil. It's the Arabic language, as you know, Aladdin, the one word can mean so much. Alhamdulillah.
Yes,
so,
yes, more than
like,
one meaning.
Yeah, so it's like wrongdoing, but in a harsh way. Inshallah. Go on,
So
sorry,
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to say, Allah says that we should stay away from such people. So my advice for you, barakallah feek, for myself, for advise others, just ignore them. Do your da'wah for the sake of Allah. Do your lectures. Join Muslim channels like our brother here, alhamdulillah, like brother Isa Da'wah, brother Khalilullah Da'wah, like brother Hamza, like Ali, all brothers, all those channels. Alhamdulillah, they are doing da'wah for the sake of Allah. You may join them, you may discuss with them, than to go to those ignorance by having discussion, and that doesn't serve anyone but them and their hateful agenda, their satanic agenda. Jazakallah khair, barakallah feek. I just wanted to share this with you. Have to step out now for Salat Asr. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah protect and preserve you, Brother Aladdin, mashallah. And it's always an honor to have you on the platform. They are very, very beneficial words. I think there's a lot of brothers, Habibi, who have debated these individuals, and then they come from it and think, I'm not going to debate them anymore. There's no point, brother. Wallahi, in the Quran it says, Summun, Bukmun, Ummun. The deaf and the dumb and the blind will never understand. This is not on about people with disabilities. No, their hearts are sealed, their eyes are sealed, their ears are sealed, their mouths, they want to interact. And these people, wallahi, brothers and sisters, that they are making money from these debates and discussions with Muslims. We never ever see him debating Christianity. In fact, they're holding hands. They're holding hands with these hate preachers, right? You never ever see them talking about Judaism. It's always Islam, because that's where they say the cash cow. Hey, you can't say cash cow. They know where their money is going to come from. And so brother, mashallah, I do appreciate your time. I know it's a different time zone. So from your discussion with this particular individual, Apus, there's a question here. Who is Apus guy? He's talking about. Okay, Apus has got another name if you want to share for the audience.
Yes, well, basically it's this guy called, I don't even want to say his first name, because his first name is such a beautiful name for the gate of, for the gate of heaven. Okay, so Idemir. Okay, his last name is Idemir and his first name is Dad. I'll never acknowledge his first name. And then, so he has this channel called Apostate Prophet, and this channel has, a lot of nasty and disgusting stuff about Islam. He even had a cartoon. He has a cartoon attacking Islam and the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is how disgusting this animal is, right? So I think it was in a debate or in a discussion or in I don't know what you want to call it, with Brother Hijab, which is where the name Apus came up, right? So Then the names just stuck. All right. So yeah, I mean, every single Muslim calls him that now. So but during the debate, I tried to be civil and I just called him by his last name, Aidemir. So I hope I did that. I think I slipped up a bit at one point and I called him by the first name, but then I corrected myself and I called him Aidemir. So just to clarify with the brother just now, Brother Aladdin, who gave us those beautiful verses from the Quran about not discussing things or not to debate individuals like Apus. Well, the reason I decided to actually go ahead with it is because, number one, it was on a neutral platform. Okay, I know and I knew that this guy will never listen to reason anyway. So the reason why I did it was because it was on modern day debate. It was a neutral platform, and my appeal is actually for the audience. Okay, and I wanted to reach out to modern day debates audience and his audience because I knew that he would upload the full debate, which he did, and I reached as widely as possible, and so that every enemy of Islam knows who the Muslim Apologist is, and that I'm a threat to them. And I think for these two objectives, I think I've done it because my Alhamdulillah, my channel has skyrocketed in views, and there are a lot of comments now, and there are actually new Muslims who did not know about my channel previously, but they now know about me. They now know the Muslim Apologist because of that debate with Apus. So like I said, so I think about giving him a platform and making him famous. I think it goes, like I said, it goes both ways. I mean, you can't say that it will just give him fame and exposure. It will also give me fame and exposure, and it did. So but like I said, my intention wasn't to give him any exposure or anything of the sort. I wanted to expose him. I wanted to reveal who he is. And I think he dropped his demeanor when he started insulting me, and I scratched my back with the miswak. I think that's the most famous video right now. So I think it exposed to the world who he really is, because that was when he dropped all his coolness and he started insulting me and started insulting Islam openly. And I was just scratching my back with the miswak. So I think everyone can judge for themselves who Aidemir really is.
Yeah. This guy, I think he lives in Turkey or somewhere like that. Is it from that?
Well, he claims to be someone of Turkish descent who was raised in Germany. Okay, but I don't know. I mean, I personally think that maybe he was never exposed to Islam. Maybe he was raised in Germany, yes, and maybe he is indeed a Turk. I wouldn't deny that, but I don't think he was raised with Islamic values anyway. He just is claiming to fame by claiming to be an ex-Muslim. It's a thing now.
It's a money maker, brother. It's a money maker. It's like when you watch the streams, like other streams like EF Dawa or Hamza Ben. If somebody says, "Hi, I'm an ex-Muslim," it's like, "Wow, yeah, great. Well, so what? Go to hell. I don't care. No space for me."
And Aki, what's something funny about this is that you will never see a former Christian who became a Muslim saying, "Oh, I'm an ex-Christian who is now a Muslim. Oh, I'm an ex-Hindu who's now a Muslim. Oh, I'm an ex-Buddhist who have become a Muslim." No, they will say first, "I am a Muslim. I'm a Muslim, but I was formerly a blah blah blah." But these ex-Muslims, they will say, "Oh, I'm an ex-Muslim, but now I'm a this." See, you see the difference? Do you see the way they introduce themselves?
It's quite comical, to be honest. I think these people think they're going to get a letter from the Queen or a medal from the president or the king to say, "Oh, well done, you've left Islam. Here's a medal for you and a certificate." Great, and it's quite sad. Guys, I have put the link in the chat. Feel free to come on. It'll be great to get you on and ask some questions for the Muslim Apologist. So, brother, this new channel that we got now regarding reviewing hotels and stuff. So, what led you to this then?
I've been planning. Me and my partner have been planning it for 2 years. I mean, before COVID struck, and then when COVID struck, we realized that everyone in Malaysia was staying, because the hotels suddenly were losing a lot of visitors because no one was allowed to enter the country, right? And the hotel and the hospitality industry in Malaysia is highly dependent upon tourists coming into the country, so they lost a lot of revenue there. Unfortunately, a lot of hotels were closed down because of this. But the ones that still survived, they cut down their rates very sharply. In fact, like 80%, almost like 80% discount. So me and my friend, my partner, decided to, hey, why don't we, introduce, these hotels to Malaysians and to everyone else who may or may not know about these hotels. So we started staying in these hotels like once every 2 months and so on, because even though they cut down the prices, it's still quite steep for us. So we started recording the hotel room, the environment, the facilities, what's around the hotel, etc. And we have already had around like about 7 footages, 7 hotels. We have covered 7 hotels. There's about 3 videos now on the channel, because the channel is very new. Although we started this project in 2020, we only started uploading the videos last month. Okay, so now we have about 3 videos about 3 hotels on our channel, and hopefully we're going to add more in the coming weeks and months, inshallah.
Yeah, someone just commented in the chat. Thank you. I don't know if my volume's low. Is my mic volume low, guys? I had issues when I was podcasting from my man cave in my house, that there was like a ticking noise coming from the computer. I don't know if it was like a bomb there or something, but anyway, it never went off, but it's still a ticking noise. So now I've kind of transferred back into my gym, and I'm using my laptop for the show, and hopefully everything should be working well. So yeah, brother, so what's the name of the channel? You never mentioned it.
Oh, the name of the channel is My Staycation. It's MY Staycation. Yeah.
Staycation.
Yes, STAYCATION.
MashaAllah, I'll definitely check it out and subscribe to your channel, your new channel. So within the channel, do you like within your channel, do you show yourself and do you show what star the hotel is and what offers, like swimming pool, gym, and for relaxation, and where's it located? Do you cover all that?
Yes. Well, the channel, the voiceover is done by my partner, so he does most of the talking. But in some of the videos, you may actually see me walking around wearing my Muslim Apologist t-shirt. Okay, I try not to appear too much in the. I don't do the voiceovers because I feel that my accent is a put off to some people. Okay, my partner has a very beautiful British sounding accent, even though he's a Malaysian. So I let him do the voiceovers. But he includes me in the videos. You might even see me walking around in the hotel and so on. And we cover, the rooms, the environment, the lobby, the facilities that are in the hotel, the restaurants, the food, and the surrounding areas. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, I'm going to put the name of the channel here, guys. Please check out the Muslim Apologist channel when it comes to rating, mashallah, and walking around the hotel. So, have you ever been in a situation where you've got your camera, you're walking around the hotel, and then somebody will say to you, "What are you doing with the camera? What are you recording for?" Have you ever had some incidents like that? Tell us.
No, so far we haven't encountered such a thing because because we chose hours where there weren't many people, and some of the videos that we recorded, it was during COVID, so there weren't any guests around, so we could do anything we want. So there wasn't any problem. We didn't face any issues like that so far.
So did you contact the hotel prior to arriving that we're going to do like a review, or you just turn up with your cameras and your equipment?
We just decide on a hotel that we want to go. For example, this hotel that we've chosen today, which is Swiss Garden Hotel. We just choose the hotel. We check our budget to see whether it's suited, whether we can afford it. By the way, everything is self-funded at the moment, so we don't have any sponsorships or anything of the sort. And we just go to the hotel, and then once we relax and unwind, because it's a hotel room after all, we just go out and start recording. And the hotel staff doesn't even know about our channel. We don't tell them. It's just this is a private venture so far. So maybe in the future, once our hope is that in the future, once our channel gets very big and we become very famous, perhaps there will be hotels out there who would actually be willing to ask us to come to their hotel and sponsor us for the stay. Yeah, for the duration.
Yeah, inshallah. I do see a lot of people on YouTube who do like food reviews, hotel reviews, I think food reviews could be very beneficial, brother. But then, unfortunately, when you start doing food reviews, you start putting some excess weight. And we don't want that with the brother Muslim Apologist. We want him fit and strong so we can, mashallah, be a mujahid and deal with these haters and so forth. So, inshallah. So, with me, brother, when I normally travel anywhere, first thing I look for to see if there's a gym close by or the hotels got a gym. For me, that's my main priority. As for going out to the swimming pool, I really don't care about that. When I go on like other websites, like the famous websites you can download onto your phone, like apps and stuff, I normally click to see if there's a gym. So, is the standard of hotels in Malaysia? I know we're going off topic, brother, but I find this quite interesting, mashallah. Is the standard of Malaysia, hotels in Malaysia high? Are they without all 5-star?
I think there's a range. It depends on which hotel you go to. It can go as low as 1 star up to maybe 5 or 6 stars. So the hotels that me and my partner have gone to thus far are mainly 4 or 5 stars. And the hotels that I've gone to and with my partner so far, they have gyms. Yeah, I mean, most of them have gyms. But because most of them were recorded during the COVID situation, so that we weren't allowed access to it.
Yeah. Oh, shame. I think we should revisit them and get some images of the gyms. Then maybe I might come and visit Malaysia just to train, just to work out, inshallah. And you ever seen the Rocky movies, brother? When Rocky's running on the beach and he's racing Apollo Creed. That could be me one day running down the beach training, brother, inshallah. Yeah, so, alhamdulillah, I hope everything works out for you, my brother, with this new channel. And the name is there on the screen, guys. Check it out, definitely. I think we have to support each other when it comes to these type of ventures, because it's beneficial for the Muslims. It really is. Sometimes we have non-Muslims doing the reviews. And what happens with the non-Muslims, they show the negative, sometimes side, haram stuff. We want halal stuff. And the brother here, mashallah, is providing a service for all of you guys. So, yeah, with me, I like to really push for companies and organizations, Muslim companies in the first tier, that we encourage brothers and sisters to like and subscribe to our fellow Muslims, Muslim channels. So yeah, guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel, alhamdulillah, please like and subscribe. I'm planning to do something very interesting soon, whereas I walk around my area and highlight the negativity from the taxes that we pay, but the services we get in return are quite minimum. For example, fly tipping. Fly tipping for me is really a pet hate, where when you walk around, of course, for those brothers and sisters don't know what fly tipping is, where people, instead of putting it into their wheelie bins, we have wheelie bins here, but they just throw it on the corner of the road or the street, and then the bin bags rip open, and then you have vermin like mice and rats come. And unfortunately, here in my city of Coventry, in the area that I live, is called Fogle. It's a very multicultural, diverse area, but we've had a huge influx of people coming from Europe. I don't want to say it because I don't want to sound like I'm racist or prejudiced against any type of people, but since these people have come into the area from Europe, they have really messed up the area, and it's like disgusting. It really is, and it's gone really. It's weird, brother, because we had people from the Somalian community come here from Africa, and they're very clean, very respectful people. We had people from the Kurdistan, Iraq, and Arab countries come over due to the war, and we got Afghani people come here, and they're very respectful, very polite. But then we had a huge fly tipping. Fly tipping is like, for example, if I've got some rubbish in my house, and instead of taking it to a location where you can actually get it disposed of, which is provided by the government or the council, the local authority, instead you throw it onto the road. You just basically throw it onto the pavement or throw it into the park areas like a green space. Oh, I'm not gonna say this word. I'm not gonna say this, guys. I'm not gonna say this. Uh, I, there's a link to it, definitely, but yeah, unfortunately, not all of these type of people are like that. There's a small percentage, and this small percentage really destroyed the area. And I see here in my city of Coventry that a lot of the Asian community are selling up. They're selling up and they're moving out because it's quite heartbreaking and it's quite stressful. It really is. So, guys, the link is in the chat. Feel free to come on and question the Muslim apologist regarding this debate. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslim. You know what? I was actually talking about this character the other day, Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean, and he actually was a Muslim. Originally, he was a Muslim. Can you want to share some information, brother, if you don't mind, some brief information?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really recall the history much, but from what I know, he's someone from Britain. I think he's from the UK. I think this person he did some privateering for the British Empire, and if I'm not mistaken, he was captured by people in Tunisia or in Libya. I don't remember, but it was there where he encountered Islam, and he became a Muslim because of that. Yeah. And the rest of the information about him, unfortunately, I'm a bit sketchy about it. I mean, I don't recall, unfortunately, because I've read about him, many years ago, and I know that the name Jack Sparrow is actually the character Jack Sparrow was inspired from this real life person.
Yeah, I think it's Asfar. Asfar means sparrow. So I think his name was translated into Jack Sparrow because his second name was that particular name.
Even the first mate in the story, Hector Barbosa, right? I think he was also a Muslim. He's inspired from a real Muslim character.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. It's amazing, brother. And I think Malaysia and Indonesia, I think and this is what makes me laugh when you had a discussion with this particular individual. Malaysia, were never conquered by the sword. It was trade. It was trade. People visiting from Arab countries, African countries, going to Malaysia, dealing, and then getting married. And tell us something about that, brother.
Yes, that's right. So you see, in this region, the Southeast Asian region, which now encompasses Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Borneo Islands, Thai, etc. We were Hindu Buddhists. Okay, we adopted a form of religion which makes elements of Hinduism and Buddhism, but it was not the Hinduism and Buddhism that we know today. In fact, this religion, this amalgamation of a religion, has monotheistic elements in it, very strong monotheistic elements in it. So this was prior to the 11th century. Okay, so Islam came to the region in the 12th century. Okay. And it was through Arab traders. The first people who were converted was the king of Pasai. Okay, Pasai is an area in what we now know as Sumatra, and then the island, the Indonesian island of Sumatra, and then from there Islam spread throughout the region, and then again spread by traders and so on, and then it reached Malacca. It reached Malacca in the 13th century. And the king of Malacca at the time, who was a Hindu Buddhist, he converted to Islam. He reverted to Islam because of the preaching from Yemeni Arab traders, by the way. And because the king became a Muslim, so all his peoples would follow suit. So this was the practice, okay, by the Malays, okay, of this region. And then it grew, and then Islam grew, and then it gave us, Islam gave us the dignity as peoples, as the Malay people, which has never been achieved, okay, by the previous governments. I mean, we had an empire. We had a Hindu Buddhist empire called the Srivijaya Empire, the Majapahit Empire. But when we became Muslim, we worked together to we established an empire called what we call the Malacca Sultanate, and this Malacca Sultanate had very far-reaching and very strong economic impact upon the peoples in this region, and it has never been the same since the Malacca Sultanate fell to the Portuguese invaders. Okay, so that is why until today, when we Muslims in Malaysia, we refer to our glorious past, we will always refer to the Malacca Sultanate because it was Islam that gave us the dignity as peoples.
Yeah, we've got somebody backstage now. I think he's a first-time visitor. People, if you can put your camera on backstage just to verify who you are, and then once I know who you are, you can turn the camera off and then come back on. So if you can do that, that'd be great. If you can hear us, just turn the camera on backstage, and I can see who you are, and then verify who you are, and then I can put you into the. I don't have a camera, guys. This is a tricky one now. Okay, I'm gonna put you on. Okay, I'm gonna put you on, and bear with me 1 second. Okay, how you doing, people? How's things?
Hi there. Fine, thank you.
Yeah, nice to have you here. What is it you want to talk about?
You invited me in. I wasn't sure. I mean, the other fella, Mr. Apologist, is given great stuff. I'm blue collar worker with no real backgrounds in anything, so and we're all just as foreign to one another as each other, so there is that.
Yeah, nice to have you here, brother. People, to be honest, I talk about random stuff, and I love listening to people, the way they are, the makeup of a person. You know what I mean? I don't know what country you're in and stuff, and we all are brothers in humanity. So you mentioned, do you have a belief or anything you want to talk about?
No. I was actually watching someone else that I like watching, and your thing came up as live in the side chat. So, that's interesting, and I clicked on it, and here I am.
Amazing.
The power of technology, it's wonderful. Like you know, growing up in the gosh, when I were a wee lad, as you'd say, the parents, like, the only phone we had was the grandparents' phone, and that was the thing bolted to the wall. But you tell young kids that nowadays, they don't believe you.
Definitely, I 100% understand where you're coming from. I remember you have to dial it. You have to be a circle, and you have to wait to get back, and then you can go to the next number, like a dial-up. I remember that, and I remember when I was growing up, we had the Commodore 64 and the Sinclair Spectrum computer, where you had to put a tape in to load up a game or a program and stuff. Do you remember those days?
Oh, yes. Oh, gosh, my first memory stick was like 256K in it. And nowadays, you can walk around with sticks for like 1 or 2 terabytes. It's just, yeah. Oh, the way the technology's going is really impressive. Like, so there's another guy I like watching called Scott Manley. He's also, well, he's a Scottishman who now lives in America. But his shtick is he basically runs around, collects all of the rocket stuff, science, and then dumbs it down or makes it more accessible to the average Joe. And so, yeah, like there's guys now in the States, so they started working for Musk, and then they kept some of their ideas proprietary to themselves. They've run off and they've formed their own company. And so now, instead of forging or casting or the traditional ways of working metal, with additive printing, they're printing not just the bits, but like the whole rocket motor. They're printing the whole rocket. That's just science fiction coming to life.
Yeah, definitely. I think it goes to show how much we've advanced when it comes to technology. Our minds have advanced. But I really think this is very important, people. And this is not like a religious platform, but I love listening to people. I really do. No, it's fine. It's great. We're talking about this. I actually think that we in the West, if we were placed without a phone, without technology in a jungle, we won't last for a week. I think we are very naive. I think we haven't got the skills to survive and how to survive. What's your take on that, Peter?
You're quite right. If I were out in the bush, I'd die because it's all lethal out there. So I get that. But part of that comes down to, how do you say, the disassociation of the city versus the country. Like, so having been a trip back to England to visit relatives, like, you still have farmland butting up close to all your towns. It's like I literally saw a tractor driving through a street of the town, which you just don't see here because this city I'm in is big. It's like 4 hours to cross it. 2. Well, actually, you'll never cross it if the traffic's bad, but that's the same for everywhere. And you like, gosh, you know, you just don't, unless they're on the back of a trailer being taken somewhere, you don't see farm equipment here in the.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the UK, so I'm in the UK, right? So if I see farm equipment, I'm like, whoa! I'm like to my kids, look at that! It's like something strange and amazing. Do you know what I mean?
You're more near London-ish.
I'm near Birmingham. I don't care of Birmingham. No, Birmingham's like West Midlands. It's quite far away from London. Probably 2-hour drive from London.
So north, and then on the west or east side?
North.
Yeah, but you're not at Scotland, so you're on the...
No. I'm the other way. I'm toward the bottom of central, where I can say West Midlands. So if you go to like Warwickshire, Coventry, Birmingham, Birmingham's a huge city, right? So we're not far from Birmingham at all. But alhamdulillah, I just want to ask a question to the Muslim Apologist. He's from Malaysia. I think you're very close to the Muslim Apologist. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. My time zone is Japan. You can say it's the same as Tokyo. So I think he's 2 to 4 hours behind me. So I'm on the east coast of Australia. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Peter, you mentioned you're, what did you say? You said you're a non-theist.
I'm trying to find a better term for that. I'm still like a blue-collar worker, so my education is a trade. Gave that up. It's hard work. That came across wrong. And everything else is like just picking up a book and reading through it, understanding it the best I can, that sort of thing, or the YouTube University, which can be both good and bad.
So what's your background, if you don't mind me asking, regarding your parents? Were they like Christians or had a belief structure of any particular type?
I suppose they did. It didn't come across much. So Australia was settled by Protestant British. They were the rich bastards that got here first. We literally beat the French by like 2 days. It's why in Sydney there's a spot called La Perouse, because that was the captain of the French expedition who got here like a day late, saw the British campfires and went, you know what, I'm going to be such a good sport. I'm not just going to bugger up the coast like a day's travel and put my French flag down. And he went off and found Noumea. So I think he got the better deal with that. But yeah, the Brits at the time went, oh, what a jolly good chap, and they named a bit of the terrain after him. So that it was the British Protestants got here first. Most of the convicts were criminals or political dissidents. So at the time, you'd call it the underclass was more Roman Catholics, because they drew a lot of from the Irish and that sort of thing. And so for a while there was that sort of religious social divide sort of got exterminated in the cauldron that was the First and then the Second World War. So that's kind of gone away.
That's really interesting, because of course here in the UK and the British, I'm not saying we, but how my forefathers tried to conquer the world is amazing, and I think even to this day we are feeling the pain and the anguish, and we still can see it. We still can witness and see what the British did around the world in the name of probably religion. I think they use the term maybe. What's your take? Do you think they use the religion to take over certain parts of the world, or do you reckon it's regarding economical, getting the resources, the minerals, the oil, the gases? What do you think?
Well, that's a really broad question, because you've got different parts of the world where different influences were happening from because Britain isn't a monolith, the same as Indonesia's not a monolith, Australia's not a monolith, and so you would have like the various subcultural sort of flavor that you have all through England, and you probably have the same in Malaysia, and definitely like the west coast of Australia is very different from the east coast. And so like not that I'm a great historian, because I ain't, like you had like the classic, you were just referencing Jack Sparrow. So in I think the second or third movie, they introduced the East what's the
East Indian.
Yeah. At one stage that corporation, so a corporation, so its whole motivation is founded by the economic and the bankers that are backing it, and then you've got the structure of the company organization. So there's no politics. There's no politics in that. There's no religion in that. It's as the villain says, it's purely business. Yeah. And at one stage, they had like one of the biggest fleets in the Pacific area. They definitely had one of the world's biggest armies. Like they had their own funds, enough funds to buy the equipment to make the weapons to enforce their economic will. And then all of the fallout from that, which I think they were one of the kickoffs for causing one of the big rebellions in China, possibly because they annoyed people so much, something like that. So yeah, lots like then you've got going into India, which is a whole different thing, and then because I've heard many different takes from people who are from there and this, that, and the other for how they view the Brits.
Definitely. I want to get some thoughts from the Muslim Apologist, if you don't mind, and then hopefully we can go back and forth. Muslim Apologist, what's your take on what Peebo said? Peebo, what's your name, if you don't mind? Peebo sounds like a cartoon character.
It's an amalgam, an homage back to an American linear graphic artist. The guy was in the first Gulf War, came out of that, self-taught artist. Then in the 80s into the 90s with the boom of the economy then, he managed to become a successful sort of self-publishing artist.
Interesting.
And so he has a character called a Peabot. And then I've always, Cthulhu's kind of fun in a crazy, I can't remember the author's name off the top of my head. Not Howard, Lovecraft. And so just a mash of them together.
Wow. Mountain of knowledge. You're a mountain of knowledge, PB. It's nice to have you here, mate.
No. Everyone's got passions.
Yeah, definitely. I was just talking prior to you coming on that my little son, he likes making paper airplanes, and I really encourage him to make paper airplanes and even start off a YouTube channel. And I think we should do that more often with our children, that we should encourage them to do something that they like and they enjoy. As long as they're not breaking the law and it's not against, the fundamentals of your religion and stuff like that, I think we should definitely encourage our children to act like children and be creative with their thoughts. The Muslim Apologist, you got anything to say? You're muted, brother.
Oh, sorry, Aki. Yeah, I find the conversation very interesting. I'm piqued. Maybe you can continue, and maybe share with us what exactly your stance is about religion, people. And maybe, maybe you can tell us about the situation in Australia. How is it there about religion, etc. And what perhaps maybe shaped your views about religion. It'd be very interesting to hear that. Yeah.
Well, so as a common bloke out in the suburbs of the country, because basically kind of what we have is major cities and then bush and then small towns. There's not much else in between. So from my perspective, it's people do what they want to do. Everyone seems happy with what they want to do. what you tend to get is, of course, the media, whose job it is to run around and find stories. So anything that pops up, and I suppose you say out of the ordinary, is what gets covered. But in general, everyone's kind of happy to let everyone be what they want to be. For myself, as I said, parents probably have religion. It wasn't a big thing. Never been a big thing. And me personally, I call myself a non-theist because I'm looking for a better name, because I don't see anything supernatural in the world. So there's that.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just got a message from my other half saying that she'd be home soon. I'm really hungry. I've been fasting for over like 24 hours because I do a lot of fitness and fasting and stuff like that. And sometimes I get like dizzy spells and stuff like that because I've been fasting for so long. But yeah, so do you kind of like believe that in the afterlife? Do you think there is afterlife?
No, but I make sure that I've got a blade on me so that when I die, I can get carried off to Valhalla, because that sounds like they have really good parties.
All right. So, do you think for those people who've committed like crimes, like especially like Hitler, do you think there's a punishment for him, or do you think he's got away with what he committed?
Well, not. What do you mean got away? In that, so history, for as long as we remember it, is going to point out that he was wrong and he was a naughty person. So he didn't get away with it, like they lost, unlike certain other political regimes where they didn't lose and they're still kind of around. So you've got that happening.
Oh, interesting.
But the whole, because there were like three major power blocks in the Second World War. There was the sort of the Western democracies. There was the sort of central fascists, with Japan sort of being more like imperial, but they were still kind of fascists. And then on the other side, you had the communists. Now, admittedly, the communists of today are not the communists of then, because they've had 40 years of further political development. But there's still lingering effects.
Yeah, interesting.
But again, I want to sort of not. I'm not knowledgeable about it at all. They're still there, but again, they're not the same people they were.
Yeah, true. I think people
an afterlife. No, again, nothing indicates there's anything supernatural. That's why I like eating mushrooms. I like eating them now because they're going to get me. Sort of like reverse revenge.
I got you. People, we have to wrap up the show in about 5-10 minutes because the Muslim Apologist is in a different location, and plus my other half is coming home soon, so I've got to clean the house and so forth, which a good husband that I am. So alhamdulillah. So people, it's really nice to have you on. Hopefully, please dislike and subscribe, and it'd be great to get you back on again on the future podcast, hopefully after a day or so. We can talk more. Is that good for you?
Well, the problem will be this was a random thing for me, really, and different time zones, different work things. So if I see you on, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. Thank you very much for having a complete random crazy stranger. Not all Australians are like this, honest. Some are better.
But no, thank you for joining us, mate. And to be honest, I really enjoyed speaking to people because I like having a podcast or a show that people just, for me, is information. The information that you gave to me and people watching, it's still beneficial. It might not be religious, but it's beneficial. And I do appreciate your time, and thank you for joining us. Thank you.
You're welcome. You really got to get some carpet or something because the reverb coming through the speakers is intense. I think it's because of your so I'm in a smallish bedroom with a microphone sticking up, but I think for you, because of you're on your laptop, maybe a headset with a mic, but the reverb.
All right, sorry about that.
No, cool. For other people, it might be different.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
I've also
you're
got
probably right.
really cheap speakers, so,
Mm.
so my end's probably not great either. But
No, thank you. Thank you for the advice, Pibu. It's been awesome having you, and I've learned a lot, to be honest. And hopefully, I'll see you soon. Have a great day, evening, morning, whatever you are, and take it easy and keep working hard, keep paying your taxes, and keep fit. Remember to keep fit. All right.
bye bye.
All right. Okay. I'll see you in a bit. Okay. Bye. Take care. We've got Brother Ken Bernard joining us. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Kenny. How are you?
Wa
Salam,
alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. I'm good, brother. How are you? How are you, brother? Muslim apologist.
Yes, great. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I don't know whether you saw the debate between me and Apus.
Yeah, that's why I came on. Can't be on long, but I just see the topic of the discussion today, and I wanted to come on and mention a couple of things. First and foremost, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah bless you for your efforts and your intentions.
Thank you.
But I wanted to make a couple of comments about the platform itself, modern day debate.
Yes,
You know, of course, I've been on the modern day debate a couple of times, and what I've been noticing as of late, anytime there's a Muslim on, you know, I like James. I've met James in person. You know, during my debate with David Wood and so forth. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to have another debate, and we discussed doing it on that platform. But what I've been noticing is that when Muslims come on, we see quite a bit of bias there. And of course, the platform promotes itself as being neutral, but we see a lot of and hear a lot of Islamophobic questions being asked from the moderator. And also, we see a lot of just nonsensical comments being made in the chat that are repeated by the moderator. And they're usually comments that have literally nothing to do with the topic that's being discussed.
Right.
And it's for that reason that I've kind of concluded that I don't think I'm going to go back on that platform again, because I find it to be utmost hypocrisy to continuously promote the idea that it's a neutral platform. But anytime there's Muslims on, we see many Islamophobic and very rude and offensive comments or questions being presented by the moderator during the debate. And we don't see that happening on the other side. We don't see Muslims coming on. We don't see Muslim questions being presented that are very offensive to Christians. I mean, absolutely insulting questions that are being presented that are totally off topic. And so I think that I'm going to personally boycott that platform. And if I do debate David Wood again, it won't be on that platform. It'll have to be somewhere else. Because I've just literally I've had enough of the hypocrisy and the blatant Islamophobia being propagated on that channel.
Brother, have you raised this issue with James personally, though?
No, I have not. I did make a couple of comments during the debate. I don't know if he's seen them or not, but I just asked, politely, why are these off-topic questions being asked that have nothing to do with the debate and so forth. But he reads even just sly and very offensive comments. He'll just read them out loud. They're not even questions being presented. It'll be statements that people make, and he'll read it out loud during the debate. And for what reason? What's the motivation behind it? Is he even stopping to actually put any thought behind what he's actually, what he's presenting during the debate? To read some random Islamophobic comment out loud, what's the purpose behind that? And I just have a huge problem with that, and I will discuss it with him at some point. I've had enough of it. I've seen it happen the last few times Muslims have been on, and I just I don't want to have anything to do with such a platform that's going to do something like that. And actually, I like James. He's very treated me very well when we traveled and met in Corpus Christi, or Dallas rather. We met in Dallas. I'm sorry, but I just have a huge problem with that situation there.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Kenny. MashaAllah, I think you it's good advice, to be honest. And I was mentioning it earlier that I think post debate, a lot of brothers kind of like think about the debate and think, was it really worth it and stuff. But I think it's all a learning curve. I think this is how we learn and we become better debaters and so forth. Brother Ken, you've got a book coming out. It's this month, right? Or is it already out now?
It'll be out tomorrow. It'll be on Amazon tomorrow. The book, Your Right to Self-Identify, My Right to Disagree. The subtitle is Who is Oppressing Whom? You will be able to get it on Amazon tomorrow. The pre-sale for the Kindle version, the ebook, is already available for pre-sale. You can't download it yet, but you can get it via pre-sale right now. The paperback version and the hardback will be available tomorrow, inshallah. So looking forward to that.
Inshallah, I'll try to get the hardback version, inshallah. Yeah.
Inshallah. Thank you, brother. May Allah bless you.
For more information regarding other books that Brother Kenny has published, guys, check out him on Amazon. Just type his name in there in the search box, and you'll find the whole list of books which Brother Kenny has written and published. Also, check out Brother Kenny Bowman's YouTube channel. It's like a huge network of other channels. So once you open that door, there's about other 6 doors that open. So guys, check out Brother Kenny Bowman's YouTube channel, and hopefully he'll be doing a podcast pretty soon, because I know Brother Kenny's always traveling and moving around and with work-related things. So hopefully Brother Kenny will be doing a stream pretty soon. Have you got anything planned, Brother Kenny, just for the audience?
What did you ask, brother? I'm sorry.
No, have you got anything planned in the future for any podcast or streams?
Not any podcasts or streams right now. I do intend to go ahead and organize, now that the book is going to be published. We'll go ahead and set up the second debate with David Wood on the topic of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his marriage to Aisha, because there's some other angles that need to be discussed. And yeah, so I'm planning to do that, inshallah. But I've got other books that are partially written already, so I've got other work to do, and some other books and so forth. So just staying busy, really.
Brother Kenny, may I ask you how may I reach you? I would like to discuss things with you in private, inshallah, maybe through email or something.
Yeah, brother, you can initially email me at info@kennybowmer.com, and then I'll give you my other email and so forth, and we'll proceed from there. But we can communicate there as well. But yeah, just go to info@kennybowmer.com, and we'll proceed, inshallah.
I'll do that, inshallah. Inshallah, you'll hear from me soon, inshallah.
Looking forward to it, brother. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, brother.
One other thing, just quickly, and then I'm gonna have to go. I've got some things to do, but I went on Clubhouse a couple of days this past week, and I see nothing has changed there. It's still the same old nonsense there.
I never go to Clubhouse. I never go to Clubhouse or Twitter for that matter, because I find these places to be very Islamophobic in environment, so I don't go to these places.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can't even go and just listen to what's being said. Usually when I go there, I'm going just for just to survey the area, survey the platform and kind of get an idea of what's happening there. Because if it's a fruitful discussion, I don't mind being involved in it. But whenever you hear the stuff that you hear on there, it's just a huge waste of time. Allah tells us twice in the Quran not to sit amongst those who are mocking his verses and mocking the Prophet, peace be upon him, and mocking Allah. Yes. Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, verse 68, and also Surah Nisa, ayah 140, if I remember correctly. I can't remember the verse right now, but warns us about not doing that. And so, it's a huge waste of time. I think these platforms where people can actually be. Another thing is you don't know who these people are, and they're able to say anything and everything without being held accountable. Some of the voices you recognize and so forth, but when it boils down to it, there's a lot of anonymous people on there, and it allows them the opportunity to say anything and everything without being held accountable for what they're actually saying, using fake names and so forth, and just hiding their identities and all that, just so they can say the most hateful things that they can muster up. their minds. So I wouldn't recommend going there. I just wanted to throw that in there.
100% agree with you, brother. That is why I stay away from Clubhouse and Twitter, even though I have accounts on both. Okay, so I just keep away from myself. I find YouTube to be much more conductive for this kind of things. I mean, there is Islamophobic hate on YouTube, but you can always counter them with your own material, and it's easier to do that here compared to other platforms like Clubhouse or Twitter.
I totally agree. Every time I go on into a room, usually they try to invite me on, and it's usually just an insult and just trying to cause some type of a confrontation of some kind, and it's just useless, man. I welcome the any of those people if they'd like to come and turn their cameras on so we can get a look at these individuals, and just not because we actually want to know what they look like, but just so we can see who is this person who's saying these things at random and trying to present information that they are pretending to know, that anyone with knowledge knows that what they're saying is just totally absurd. If we could at least put a face to this nonsense, that'd be fantastic. But I would otherwise just stay away from there. Just does nothing but cause people to get angry and so forth, and you wind up saying things that you shouldn't be saying yourself. And that's exactly what Allah warns in the verses that I mentioned, that when you hear people mocking the verses of Allah and so forth, that don't sit amongst them lest you forget. And after remembrance to stay away from them. I think I got disconnected there for a minute. But anyways, Allah warns us about, can you brothers hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Can you brothers hear me?
Yeah, nice and clear, Brother Kenny. Sorry. Nice and clear. Alhamdulillah.
Okay. Yeah, I got lost my signal, so it appeared for a second. But anyways, Allah warns us about sitting amongst these people because he ends by saying in one of the verses in Surah An-Nisa, saying that he will gather the hypocrites and the disbelievers together on the day of judgment. And we have to analyze, why would Allah say that? Because obviously hypocrites, even though they're hypocrites, they're believers. But if you're going and you're getting caught up in the whisperings of the shaitan, and to the point that they cause you to start responding in a like manner, and you start insulting and so forth, you're no better than a disbeliever. And when it boils down to it, so Allah gives clear guidance about not sitting and discussing things with these types of people, not for long periods of time. Anyways, obviously we don't know what someone's going to say before we engage in the discussion, and because someone said something yesterday doesn't mean they're going to repeat the same tactics today. But we need to be mindful of that, and just really just stay away from it. That way we don't get caught up in the aggravation of it all and start saying things that are rude ourselves for the sake of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. Guys, we have to end the stream because the Muslim Apologist has to shoot off. Alhamdulillah, nice to have him here. And it's always an honor to have Brother Kenny Burma. Check out the Muslim Apologist's new channel. It's called My Staycation. So this, mashallah, he goes around checking out hotels and so forth, what they got to offer for tourists to visit Malaysia. So please like and subscribe to his YouTube channel. I will be like and subscribe, and I'll probably leave some comments on his YouTube channel. And also, Brother Kenny Burma, who just recently joined us just now. Guys, check out his new book on Amazon. Like I said, all you've got to do is go to the search box in Amazon, type in Kenny Burma, and you get, mashallah, a huge selection of books that this brother has written, and they're very beneficial. Brother Kenny, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Inshallah. Thank you, brother.
You're always welcome, Habibi. Always welcome, as you know. Nice to see the Muslim Apologist to join me in all, and hopefully keep up the great work that you're doing there in Malaysia and touring these hotels, mashallah. I wish I could have your type of job, brother. You got the bachelor's life. You're a single man, mashallah.
No, I had to pull myself away from my wife. She knows that I'm okay. So So she's fine with it. I mean, at first,
Yeah.
you know, when my partner and I first started this, she didn't like the idea of me being isolated with my partner in this hotel rooms. But after she saw the results of our work, we only started like with uploading last month. Then she's become open to the idea. Now she doesn't mind anymore. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, that's great, mashallah. May Allah protect and preserve you and your family. Same with Brother Kenny Byrne. May Allah protect and preserve you for, you know, and your family and for the work that you do, mashallah. Both of you guys are really inspirational for me, and it's another honor and a pleasure to having you both guys on this show. And guys, brothers and sisters in the chat, and brothers and sisters who would like to subscribe to my channel, this channel is powered by you guys, because your comments, your interaction really make me push myself and try to have more streams. And I really appreciate your input in the streams. And I like to thank my family for giving me the time out to do these streams. And plus, I like to thank Allah, the Almighty, God, the Almighty, for giving me this ability, giving me a beautiful family, giving you guys this family from my YouTube channels. I really appreciate it. And I like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me this opportunity. Sometimes I do talk very fast, only because of the pre-workout's kind of like still in my system, because I had a crazy workout this morning, and I'm planning to do another workout later on in the evening. And I need to open my fast now because it's been about 26 hours. I've not ate, so I need to have some food, inshallah. Thank you so much, brother, the Muslim Apologist, all the way from Malaysia. And thank you, brother Kenny Byrne, wherever you are. I'm assuming you're in Texas, Houston, unless you're traveling for work.
Yeah, I'm in Texas, but I am away from home right now, and I am traveling, yes.
The bachelor's wife, mashallah.
My wife is here with me, so she come to see me on the weekend. But
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, that's beautiful, mashallah. Guys, thank you so much. And final words from me. Oh yeah, final words before I go. Please check out the Muslim Apologist YouTube channel and brother Kenny Byrne. As you can see, the Muslim Apologist has got his own brand there, and Brother Kenny Byrne has got some fantastic work, mashallah. Check out his YouTube channel, check out his books. Definitely check them out and leave a review. And the Muslim Apologist, he's not going to disappoint you guys. His channel is, mashallah, very funny, quite amusing. And if you don't mind me saying that, I find it very interesting. So, guys, I've got to go, I've got to eat. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Thank you guys so much.